Greetings, everyone. Welcome to this month's live and online expression session. I know you could be anywhere, so the fact that you have joined us here today on your beautiful Sunday afternoon, wherever you are in the world, that really means a lot to me. So can you go ahead and just start off by snapping it up for yourselves? Yes, indeed. This workshop this month is a little bit different in that we are not going to have a featured performer. Normally, the way the live and online expression goes is that for an hour and a half, we do a writing workshop, and then the last half hour is a featured performer. However, we wanted to give the full amount of time to giving ourselves the opportunity to write, process, and dialogue about our theme. And our theme is bringing closure to 2017. So a very exciting topic, very relevant. The format we use is that we start off the first hour as a writing workshop. The second half hour is where we get a chance to share our poems. And then the last 20-ish minutes, we have a chance to dialogue, process, give feedback, anything like that. And then we'll close out on time by 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Any questions?
None at all.
Okay. So what we'd like to do is, enough of me just talking, is get a chance to know each other. So what I'd like for you to start off by sharing is your name. And I know we already shared this, but so folks who are just tuning in can hear your name, where you're calling in from, and what the theme closure for 2017 means to you. Does it make sense what we're going to be doing?
Yes.
Okay. Name, where you're from, and what closure for 2017 means to you. Who would like to get us started?
Let's go alphabetically. A.
A? How convenient. Well, you're B, so that's not bad.
Exactly. My name's Adora. Hey! And so I am here in LA, but I am from Nigeria, which is why I was just saying to everyone earlier that I'm so excited at the chance of doing this live and online workshop when I'm in Nigeria. I just love that it's online, so it just means I can do it anywhere. And closure for 2017. This has been such a year of sowing, and I feel as if 2018 will be about reaping. So I'm very, very excited about the fact that I really think that I've put my back into it. I've been tilling the soil, I've been planting the seeds, I've been nurturing them, and the harvest hopefully begins early next year. And I think that's what closure means for me.
That's amazing. Can we snap it up for Adora, please? I like that. Okay, so are we going by screen name or
Yes.
by real name?
Screen name is good, and my real name is Anne Marie Cash. So screen name was for order, meaning B. But my name is Anne Marie, and I'm out of St. Petersburg, Florida. And what closing 2018 means for me, it's interesting because even though it's from a different perspective, but it's the same outcome as Adora. And for me, it's been a year of regrouping, a year of, so in the previous year, I planted the seeds, and this current year, many things happened that were just creating or building on that foundation. And I truthfully believe that then 2018 as well, I will continue to grow and reap what I've sowed. So we're on that same wave.
Yes, I like that. We got a theme going on the theme. Can we snap it up for Anne Marie, please?
Thank you.
Awesome. And let's see here. Does R come before T? A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J?
Hey, look, it looks like I'm the only one left, unless you're gonna. I still come before you, Tom.
Oh, you do? Okay, then go ahead.
All right, I'm Raisa Kiwala, and I'm coming from Woodland Hills, California. And wow, this year has been a year of growth, and I feel like I could say that every year. And really in stepping out of my comfort zone and becoming really strategic in how I want to move forward. And I think I had to go through a lot of experiences that helped me to see which direction I need to go in. And I love acknowledging that and taking what I needed to learn from those experiences and becoming much more strategic in the direction that I want to go in 2018. So I'm looking forward to really taking my vision and making it strategic in how I'm going to move forward and achieving my goals in 2018.
That's amazing. Yeah. Can we snap it up? You got us hyped. That was like a motivational speech and a share out. We appreciate that. My name's Tom. Hey, Tom. Oh, hey, everybody.
Hey, Tom.
Oh, y'all are so friendly. I'm calling in here from Los Angeles. And what the theme means for me is having the dual awareness and holding space at the same time for two things in your mind. One, being absolutely 100% satiated and satisfied with 2017, no matter what happened, and loving it, feeling excitement, self-love, while at the same time feeling excitement and envisioning what's to come next. So that's what it means for me. Can we snap it up for Tom?
For sure.
Yeah. Any clarifying questions anyone would like to ask for what people have shared so far, or anything you'd like to see someone expand upon or give a, hey, I related to that? No pressure, but wanted to leave space in case you had something you wanted to say in reaction to anything someone said.
I did resonate with the regrouping because that was so much of this year for me. And just things that I had kind of put in the back burner, finding their way to the front burner. And these were things that I didn't even consciously put in the back burner. I loved them. I just thought, okay, strategically speaking, perhaps this is not the time, but they forced their own way forward. And so I've had to be go with faith and do less of the strategic planning and just kind of finding my way in a more empathic and more gut following way. So that's been such an exciting thing to do and assess, because I am all about the strategic thinking, and it's really been a little different than that now. It's been a great combination.
That's wonderful.
I love how you say that combination. I think it's so important to be connected intuitively. And, the things that need to show up in our life will show up to take us in the direction we need to go in. I love that. And I felt like I have experienced a lot of that. And now it's time for me to put into action and be more intentional about what I want.
Yes.
But I love how we have both of those things in our life, and we need both.
For sure.
Yeah.
What is strategy? I hear us using that word a lot. So just so we could kind of massage that out, what is strategy, especially in terms of bringing closure?
I think for me, it's just having being clear on what it is I want and why, direction I'm going to go in, and then having some type of a plan on how to get there, taking massive imperfect action. Because that whole strategy or that plan, you can have so much planning that you're just frozen in fear, or you're frozen in your tracks because you're expecting some type of outcome, or you have expectations on the outcome, which can keep you stuck. But strategy for me really is being very clear, the vision of what I want and why, and then taking the appropriate steps that I need to achieve the outcome that I want, and knowing that it'll evolve the way it's supposed to evolve, and it may not always be what I anticipated.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank you for clarifying and expanding upon that. Layla, Assalamu alaikum.
Hi, Layla.
Oh, hey. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Glad you were able to make it. I was stalling for you intentionally. Nobody could tell until I outed myself, but
hey, Layla.
Adora. I adore you.
Yay!
And
We have missed you.
and we've
Good. It's weird. Sorry, go ahead.
and Anne-Marie had to peace out, everybody. She'll be joining us next time, but it's all good. Layla, the theme for this month is bringing closure to 2017. So if you'd be willing to share, although we've already said your name, but just formally say, what's your name, where you're calling from, and what closure to 2017 means for you.
2017. I don't know. These years, I don't really know what the years mean anymore because it just means get some paperwork done before the next year. But I feel like something good or great can happen this coming year if I step outside of my comfort zones a little bit more. And I'm a little cried out lately, but I'm trying to figure out where I'm supposed to be. It's one thing to feel awkward for so long or to feel like you don't belong and you were trying to fit in to people that even maybe love you, but we just don't know how to love each other. I don't know. And I got my issues, but I don't want to fight people. I want to be around people that care. I'm sort of like having flashbacks lately of some good groups I've been in and out of over the years. Because I struggled in education, even in the education, and the catch-22 is that when you're out of it or trying to even figure life out, they close a lot of doors if you messed up too many times, supposedly. Or I relate to people. It's not always a pretty and it's not always an easy thing to talk about. Or it's not that it hurts anymore. It's just, it's like from some statement from some movie. I don't even know. It's like, I thought we were better than this. Oh, The Big Short. I'm not even just talking about failure in business or failure, but it's not always easy to get back up. And for every supposed success story that even, when I see those YouTube videos, and there's a lot of people that don't necessarily make it. I'll say this really quickly. I knew somebody that was on the street, literally, in my area that I used to live in, even in affluent suburbs. I'm not saying people losing their minds because they've been broken. They've been feeling like they don't have, even people who climbed up a ladder even higher than some of us have. And I'm saying I'm not even caring about what people's jobs are. I even know pain is pain, whether you're the richest of the rich, the middle, the poor. I'm Caucasian looking, or I'm Arab or white skin, and I don't always feel like I belong to any group. And it hurts and kills me because sometimes I care so much about other people, but they make it hard to feel like, where do I belong? And it hurts when it's from your own ummah or from people that you think it's supposed to have your back. So I'm not even like hate on them or nothing. I know they're going through their own pains, but if everybody else wants to be in denial, I don't want to be on that train of denial anymore. And that's what I'm going through. And it's like I got my problems, but they got their problems too, boo.
We got you.
Yeah, we all do.
Well, thank you, Layla. Can we show Layla some love, send you some energy? We always appreciate how you're willing to be vulnerable and share with us, so we appreciate that.
We do.
And we'll get a chance the rest of this hour and a half together to unpack and kind of soothe out some of the things that we're all going through. Does that sound good, everybody?
Yes. Okay,
perfect. So one thing I just would like to invite us to consider when going through this workshop is there's always a tendency when we close out 2017 to jump right into what am I going to do in 2018 or visions for 2018. And I believe that to do that, first you need to give full closure to what is and what happened. So as we're going through today's workshop, I would just invite us to hold space for what are we going to do? What are we thinking about what happened before and where I'm at in this moment, and then transition into what's coming next, or what do I want to take into the new year, or what visions do I have for 2018? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. And Layla, folks on Facebook Live too are sending you love. and letting you know that they got your back too. So we're loving you internationally. What we're going to do now is sometimes there's a little bit of apprehension around writing poetry. So we just want to get that right off the table by showing that in about 5 minutes, we can write a group poem together that sounds coherent and awesome. So the way we're going to do that is I'd like everybody to write down 2 sentences that come up around the theme of bringing closure to 2017. Or it can be 2 sentences that come up around anything anybody said. You're not going to read the sentences one after the other, though. So if they rely upon the other to make sense, you'll want to kind of consider writing 2 independent sentences. And there's no right or wrong way. They don't have to rhyme. It's all good. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Paper.
And I'm just going to mute everybody's lines while we're writing those, and then we'll come back here in a sec. Okay, thumbs up if you're ready. Peace sign if you need more time. Thumbs up if you're ready. Peace sign if you need more time. Okay? And I would just invite us, no need to overthink it. Just any 2 sentences, first things that come to mind. Okay, we're all in. Wonderful. Can we snap it up for yourselves? Yes. Okay, so Ashley, why don't you start us off by sharing your name and where you're coming in from, and then we'll have you start us with the poem. But just introduce yourself, then I'll give directions. So,
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, so just my first sentence, right?
I'll just hold off on your first sentence, just your name, where you're in from, but we'll have you start us.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm Ashley. I go by Ash. Hi, guys. I'm here from Florida, where we've actually had rather chilly weather on my side of the state. I live on a different side of the state than I used to, and it's been like in the 40s.
What?
So, yeah.
Which side of the state are you on?
Oh, I'm near Daytona in Jacksonville.
Oh, is that
A
Duval?
little small town called DeLand.
Oh, wow. Okay. Can we snap it up for Ash? Yes. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go around in a circle and read one of our sentences, and then the circle will return to you a second time and you'll read your second sentence. When you read your sentence, we want to invite you very strongly to not give an explanation for it or say anything before, for instance, this wasn't that good, or I didn't really know, or after you read yours, we don't want you to add a clarification. Well, just in case you didn't know what this means, it means this. To just read your sentence, and as soon as that person's done reading their sentence, we'll then move on to the next person reading theirs without any prompts. And then we'll go around and it'll sound like one coherent poem. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Wave to me if it's all good. Okay, awesome. Sounds like it's all good. The order we're going to go in is Ash, Raisa, Adora, Tom, and then Layla. And then we'll start it over with Ash. Okay? Does everybody know who goes before them?
You do.
Point to the person on your screen who goes before you. We'll see where they're...
I don't know.
It's always fun how people end up on different screens. Okay, so whenever you're ready, Ash, you can kick us off.
Okay. Closure is so close to fissure, and it can't be coincidence. You have to break yourself open to stitch it close properly.
I have to love you and leave you. I acknowledge your presence and purpose and know we must part with love and acceptance to make space for new possibilities.
As the year draws to a close, I create my own personal boundaries around the borders of my carefully nurtured patch that is 2017.
I breathe in deeply and feel satisfaction and peace with where I am standing.
I may not ever be completely understood or have complete closure with loved ones, strangers, or even many institutions, period.
My teacher always told me that I think in cliches, and maybe that's why I think of doors opening and closing.
You've equipped me with the tools for my mind, heart, soul, and body. to launch me into the next year as my best self on my journey of my evolution.
Leaping into 2018, the sprouts are robust, fruits green as they wait for the sun of 2018 to ripen them for harvest before the wind and the fire.
Perspective is the lens through which I am bringing this year closure.
Sorry, maybe we can't completely forgive or heal, but doing the best I can and gotta take it or leave it at that. So this is a run-on sentence and move on for my own sanity or peace of mind.
Can we snap it up for our team, Paul? Woo! That was awesome. What did y'all?
It was awesome.
It was awesome. Any other?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was awesome or cool or fun about it?
I liked how everybody's more poetic sounding. I think I took it kind of literal, so I was just like.
I loved how it all flowed. Just one after the next. Of like I compare it to, it feels like a patchwork quilt.
I like that.
I do.
That might be the new name for this activity.
That's a great name.
Patchwork quilt poem or patchwork poem. Yeah.
There's a comfort and there's a warmth and a familiarity with everyone coming together and sharing what, the past and to the future, like, what you've learned and how you've grown and where you're going. That's how thinking of it in that manner as a patchwork quilt, it just feels so safe.
That's wonderful. Thank you for that.
I really hope it does feel safe, especially I want to say this to Layla, who is part of our community, has been doing this for a while. Your words are so beautiful. You don't need to apologize for them. You don't need to apologize for any run-on sentences that you feel. You don't need to explain anything. Just give us your words. That's all we want. As they are, truthfully to you.
Don't forget, I've been in that system opposite from what you guys give me. I wish I knew you guys a long time ago. There's room for
and you're with us now, and we love your words. Offer them freely, no explanation needed.
There's no wrong or right way to do art.
Yeah, it's you being your authentic self is good enough.
Yes.
You guys are like the best husband I could ever meet. I want to propose.
The answer's yes. She said yes.
Hello.
Ash, do you have any thoughts you wanted to add?
I'm continually amazed that you can put anybody's sentences, sincere sentences, in any order, and somehow it's always a great body of work. I mean, like every time this happens, I'm just kind of like, I sit there and I'm like, wow. Like I just listen to other people and I'm like, oh my God. So yeah.
That's wonderful. What was it like getting to hear your sentence fit with other people's sentences? I think that's kind of what Ash was talking about. Well, what was it like speaking your sentence out loud within a group?
Scary.
What'd you say?
Scary.
Scary?
It's always scary.
Do you mind elaborating?
Well, you worry, which I think I can understand a little bit where Mr. Layla comes from. You wonder if it's going to be the right thing to say or if there's a right thing to say. And you do spend a lot of time in like the world apart from a creative community, like having right or wrong things to say. And there's not really any gray or middle ground. So
I appreciate that. This next thing I'm about to do drives Adora crazy, but I think it's important. You were saying you. Do you mean me?
I mean, collectively, I would prefer people to relate to my, to be able to relate to my sentences, which is why I prefer to use the word you, because I hope to let other people connect. I find if you use it in second person, people are more likely to say, oh, I think that could apply to me. And it doesn't force them to align themselves, but it doesn't other you as well.
I like that inclusive perspective.
I try.
Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else want to share what's it like getting to hear your speaking your sentence? What's it like actually saying it within a group?
Well, actually, thank you for all the support and understanding from everyone. And sorry, on a side note, no, sorry. That word needs to be stricken from my vocabulary. The way you tell me to not do it, I'm gonna do it. That's just how I was.
There you go.
So tell me, don't say you love yourself, and then I'll be like, I love myself so much. I could relate to Ashley really quickly. Also, what she talked about. For some reason, my mind will, sometimes stick on a point before the exercise, or that's just how I operate. When she said that she was in another part of the state, it's funny because I can relate being in Northern California now versus Southern California, because now it's actually pretty cold up here too. So I was like, oh,
yes,
yeah. Anyway, sometimes I'm not always sure. I hear a lot of beautiful words, you know what I'm saying? And maybe because I haven't done a lot of, some of these type of classes or things for a while, they'll feel natural, but then I don't always remember what someone else said. I could just remember the feeling. And that's
Mm-hmm.
I realize a lot of times, a lot of us are trying to remember things cerebrally, and not all of us can, depending on what we're going through the day and the moment, or just you're sick or not, so it's like, okay, so if I thought though there was something beautiful about the words spoken, even if it's like, even if I speak the language, it's kind of like, even if I hear like Farsi poetry, I don't have to know the words, I just feel it. I feel like it's beautiful.
Or the Quran.
But
that's amazing. Thank you, Layla. We appreciate that. Adora or Raisa, do you have any last thoughts to close us out for this activity?
Yeah, for me, it felt right. It felt good because hearing my own truth allows me to live in that place where we all have it. We all have our own truths. And I'm just a piece and a part of that humanity that we all share. It kind of reinforced that for me, like speaking and living my own truth. Just like I'm allowing space for another person to speak and live their own truth, as is, makes me feel connected and part of humanity.
Yes. Can we snap it up for our whole family here on the expression session? Before we transition, two things I wanted to add. One, if you ever hear me typing while you're talking, I'm not multitasking and not giving you my full attention. I'm just writing down things that people said that I think are noteworthy, and then I bring them back as questions later throughout the activity. So if you hear me typing, please know that's what it is. I'm not ignoring what you're saying. Second thing is, now that we have everybody here who indicated they were coming, what we like to do once we have everybody here is just go around, and we've already said our names. So if you feel comfortable, just to make sure we're being as inclusive as possible, if you could just share what pronouns you use and what pronouns you prefer people to use. And what that means is, for instance, me, when speaking about Tom, the pronouns that I use for myself and like people use for me is he and him. Does that make sense? So some people might use they or them or she and her, but we can't always tell what pronouns people use just by looking at them. So it's always awesome for people to be able to share themselves what pronouns they use. Does that make sense? Okay, so I use he and him. Adora, would you be able to share?
Yeah, sure. She and her and hers.
Okay, awesome. Ash, would you be able to share? Are you muted?
I can't hear her.
Okay, one moment. It's like Pictionary. 2 words.
Can you guys hear me at all?
Yeah, now we hear you.
Now you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Whatever. I don't know what happened, but I'm not going to question it. I was saying it's a little convoluted, but I'm definitely not apologizing. I use she and her and he and him. It
Okay.
depends on the day. And so today is a she and her day.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Layla?
She and her, or hey you.
Okay, awesome. Raisa?
You know, Tom, I never thought about this. So I haven't been aware of what I've been using. I think it's been she and her, but I never, like I said, I'm not conscious of it.
Well, that's awesome. We appreciate you sharing with us. And I think times where we get to have these discussions allow us to recognize and think. For me, when I meet somebody, I try to use gender neutral pronouns for them until I hear them indicate what they use, or I start by saying, to make it safe for them, hey, I use he and him pronouns, by the way. What pronouns do you use? So I think that's always helpful. Cool. What's this?
Oh, no. Tiny little fly.
Oh, I didn't know if you were telling me to like move closer. Or
No. We had a guest who wanted to listen, and I was like, I want to be inclusive, but you're in my way right now. So
you can hang out at my shoulder.
Yes.
What we're going to do next is Adora's favorite activity. I think that's what we're just going to start calling it. Adora's favorite activity. If you've been with us before, you know what's coming next too. What we're really trying to do with the writing for the expression session is to develop our free writing abilities. And what that means is there's one style of writing where you think about what you're writing really deeply as you're writing it, and you try to get it to come out almost perfect right from the beginning. What we're trying to develop in this workshop is the ability to write free flow, where you're not editing, you're not censoring, you're not trying to make it perfect as it's coming out. You just write whatever it is in all its glory and sloppiness and perfectness and imperfectionness. And then you just kind of see it and can work it out later. But really what we're developing is writing as a processing tool rather than writing as a tool to create something that goes in a gallery or gets a lot of snaps. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a great activity in developing that, because what's going to happen is I'm going to give you 10 writing prompts, one at a time, and you're only going to get 20 seconds to answer the writing prompt. And so if you spend the time thinking, I like that answer, but I don't know if I actually want to write that down, I will be very brutal and being like, we are moving on. So you want to use the first thing that comes to your mind, even if you're like, this is weird, write it down. And if we ask you what you wrote down, and if it's so weird you don't want to share it with the world, then you could just say pass. But it's for you to see what's going on within you and to get it out on a paper. Does the intention and the logistics of the activity make sense?
Yes.
Awesome. A lot of the questions I'm going to ask on here are questions that you all have shared of what does closure mean to you? You said it as a sentence, and now I'm going to bring it back as a question for us to go into a little deeper. So let me pull up a stopwatch, and I want you to grab a piece of paper, or if you're going to write on your computer, have the number 1 pulled up. Pull this to the side. Awesome. Okay, let's do an air high five if you're ready. Air high five. Boom. Best way to do air high fives is hit it down here so it still makes the noise. See what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, number 1. Does everybody have number 1 written?
Mm-hmm.
No, my thing froze. I didn't hear you.
Which part didn't you hear? The whole thing?
No, not the whole thing, but the prompt. I don't.
Oh, I didn't give the prompt. I was just talking about air high fives. Just the timer on the side.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 1 is and everything is within 2017. So whatever I say is 2017. Okay. What is something you are proud of from 2017? What is something you are proud of from 2017?
Say, set, go.
Go. Yep. Go. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, I gave y'all an extra 5 seconds on that one. Okay, number 2. What is a memory from 2017 that brings a smile? What is a memory from 2017 that brings a smile? Five, four, three, two, one. Number 3, what are you ready to let go of from this year? What are you ready to let go of from this year? Five, four, three, two, one. Number 4, what are you grateful for from this year? What are you grateful for from this year? Five, four, three, two, one. Number 5, what has your body taught you in 2017? Or what is a lesson you've learned from your body in 2017? Five, four, three, two, one. Number 6, what are some relationships you have nurtured in 2017? Or because of the time, what is a relationship you nurtured in 2017? Five, four, three, two, one. Number 7, for me, 2017 was really my year of, 2017 was really my year of five, four, three, two, one. Number 8, what are seeds that you sowed? No, not sowed. What are seeds that you harvested this year that you planted in 2016? What is something you harvested this year that you planted in 2016? Five, four, three, two, one. Number 9, what is an experience you treasure from 2017? What is an experience you treasure from 2017? Five, four, three, two, one. Last one. What was your favorite aspect of what Tom Earl does? No, I'm just kidding. Number 10 really is, how did you live your truth in 2017? How did you live your truth in 2017? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can you snap it up for yourselves? It's really my way of knowing no one's still writing. Okay, now the fun part. Which number would you like to hear people share out? And folks on Facebook Live, post your answer and we'll read it out for you. Which number would y'all like to get to hear? Number 10. How did you live your truth in 2017?
How about all of them, like really fast?
We can see if we have time, but we'll start with number 10. Raisa, you want to start since you nominated?
Yeah, I'd love to. Okay, how did I live my truth in 2017? When I realized that I can do anything that I want, I don't have to worry about how anyone feels about it, except I can do anything that I want as long as I'm not doing anything displeasing to God. And that, that was one of my answers. The other one was being vulnerable live on camera. And committing to creating a business for myself, which is an unknown and not as safe as my original profession.
That's awesome. Can we snap it up for Raisa?
Thank you.
You started us off strong. We appreciate that.
Work with you.
Would anyone else like to share? How did you live your truth in 2017?
I'll go.
Go ahead, Ash.
I just wrote became more open.
Became more open?
Mm-hmm.
You meant expanding? What does that look like?
For me, that looks like doing something scary, like I did a couple of moments ago, and sharing both of my pronouns with you guys. Or additionally, like asking for what I want from people first off, instead of kind of waiting and seeing if they'll be able to give it to me, or waiting and seeing if they'd be comfortable in giving it to me, because I'm too nice is what my sister tells me. So
that's deep. Can we step it up for Ash? As a lifelong pleaser, I resonate deeply with that one of asking for what you want and being honest. For me, I discovered nonviolent communication this year, or I've known about nonviolent communication, but I went deeper into it and have really been living my truth in the concept that we can all get our needs met, but we shouldn't ever meet someone's need out of obligation, fear of punishment, or desire for reward. And really using that paradigm of, wow, there's so many times where I do something because I want the person later down the road to repay the favor, or I worry they'll withhold love, or because I feel obligated. I realized so many ways I was doing that, and it's not a truthful way for me to interact with people. So jumping off what you said, one way of living my truth is really examining, am I doing this out of genuine enthusiasm? If not, then it's not really meeting my need or their need.
Exactly.
So thank you for inspiring that idea for me. Can we show Tom some love? Yeah.
It froze up on me.
And yes, and Ash. Layla, go ahead.
Yeah. It's funny, like sometimes my camera will still go and then it froze up when you were snapping.
If you have
okay,
Layla.
Well, okay, sorry, I'm just reading what it says here. But okay. Truth of 17. Well, I don't know. I think I something happened, I couldn't use the word, but told some people I felt, I guess, who I cared about. I don't know. Sorry, I now I'm in the explanation part. The truth doesn't always come out easy, or I don't always know. It's when there's some pain that's harder to put your finger on. Yeah. Actually, sorry, something you just said. I need to learn that nonviolent communication you talk about. I can deal with strangers pretty well, but at times, and I also have my rage issues, I realize, but it's not that they're always bad. Sometimes it's okay for people to get pissed off, if someone's being a bully or singling you out. Even at a gym, I had some guy trying to single me out or something. But anyway, my point, yeah, there's that group, the Interrupters. I want to learn from them. But I mean, maybe, like I said, I might want to meet you in person soon, and maybe I'll message you. But yeah, we'll talk about it because I need some help. Or I need some ways to understand what my pain is, or what I guess the truth. There's a Rumi quote. I should have wrote that. Between right and wrong, there's the truth, or something like that. Or truth is, it depends on the situation. It's who knows exactly. Sometimes we're only seeing parts of a picture, and then people can take things from all different angles. So it's like maybe learning to not react, even if someone's trying to get a rise out of you.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
Can we show Layla some love? Mm-hmm. Yes. And Layla, there should be a way, I think Ash has done it before, where you can use the audio on your phone like a phone call while still using the video. And that way, even if the video freezes, you can still hear the audio.
Oh, okay.
Was you, Ash, that did that?
Yes.
Is there could you have any further instruction?
What I did was, I think if you're not using your phone camera right now, if you're using a camera on an iPad or a tablet or a computer, I would log in from your phone as well. Conversely, if you're using your phone's camera right now, I would use one of your other electronic devices to log on. And then there's 2 spaces for you in the chat, but then you can talk in one and hear in the other.
Oh, this is like a new device at the moment, so.
Okay, no worries. Adora, did you want to share on number 10, or shall we move on?
Yeah, let's move on.
Okay. Adora, why don't you pick? What's a number you want to hear?
Number 1, what are you proud of this year?
What's something you're proud of? Who would like to share on that one?
Oh, I can start. My scuba diving certification, because I worked hard for that, and it looked like it wasn't going to happen, especially the very last day of our exams when I was way behind. And I pulled it through. Surprised myself, surprised my instructors.
That is so awesome.
That's cool.
Water, what?
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes, can we stand up for Adora? I was just ruminating on, wow, that was this year. That's crazy.
That's really brave. Scuba diving is scary.
Oh.
And it was really challenging for you.
It really was. And it wasn't, I think it was the cold that got me the most.
Where did you do the scuba diving at?
Here in California, but our waters are the chilliest, amongst the chilliest in the world. So that was the thing, going super deep in the cold, and it's dark down there as well. So that was...
It wasn't in a big pool, or okay?
Yeah, no, it was out in the ocean, but it's dark because our visibility isn't great either. Over here. So I think now I've done it here, I need not be afraid of doing it anywhere.
No, you'd be fine anywhere else.
Get the hardest out of the way first.
Yeah, basically.
Who else would like to share on number 1? What is something you're proud of?
I can go.
Okay, go for it.
I wrote down my spirituality and introspective skills.
Ooh, I like that. Can we show Ash some love?
Wow, thank you.
I put for mine is recent. So I founded an online school this time last year, and I just relaunched it tonight. Where I switched from it being selling just one-off classes to it's a subscription model. So for $10 a month, you get access to every single class I've put up over the past year. And I'm just adding a new one, Manifest Your Adventure, tonight. So I'm proud of that. Yay! Thanks, y'all. Anyone else want to share in that one, or should we move on to the next one? We have about 5 more minutes to share any other ones y'all would like to hear on this.
I'll share on that one.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so what I'm proud of most is letting go of control and making decisions from a place of clarity and peace intuitively.
Ooh, I like that.
Ooh,
Can we do the
nice.
spirit hands? Spirit hands? Yeah. Here's what we'll do, because I know we wanted to hear some of these. We'll pick one, and we're just going to go around the circle and share your answer, and then we'll snap up for everybody after we all share. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Let's do number 5. What is something your body has taught you in 2017? And I can start us off. That sleep cannot be cut in half for anything. That for me, I found that even more important than water and food is sleep, and that I genuinely need 8 to 10 hours of sleep a night. So that's been one for me.
Mm-hmm.
Ash, would you like to go next?
Oh, yeah. I put down go slower, pay attention, and that my concerns are valid.
That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Layla?
Sorry. Don't eat too late at night. You'll regret it in the morning. And it's going to hurt sometimes, the body, but just be patient. It's okay.
Yes. Raisa?
I can generate so much energy from my body and to give it what it needs.
Adora?
I've recovered from 2 surgeries this year, and I've just been pretty surprised at how quickly it bounces back and how there's some things that really you have to have patience with.
Can we snap it up for everybody? Yes. What's the last one y'all would like? Ooh, I'm kind of biased to number 7. But is there anyone else wanted to hear that we haven't said?
I'm curious about 8.
8? We'll do 7 and 8, and then we'll move on to the next part. Okay.
What was 7 again? So I think you should start, Tom, early so you can repeat the words of the question, if that's okay.
Okay, and we'll do reverse order this time so that Ash doesn't always have to go first.
I don't mind.
You're right next to me. That's why I'm always like, and next. Then it goes in a circle on my screen.
Oh, I see. It's okay.
For me, 2017 was really my year of, and for me, I have remembering my powers of manifestation. Adora?
My year of essentialism, owning my identity as a director again.
Raisa?
Letting go and let God.
Layla?
A year of some confusion, some good and bad changes, and still trying to figure things out. Wonderful.
Ashley?
I know you're recording, so I'll censor myself, but F it, I'll do it anyways.
That's a good way to end that one. Can we snap it up for everybody? And then number 8, that's what you wanted to hear, right, Adora?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yeah, this is a good one. See, this one came from everything everybody was saying about the seeds. So what is something you harvested this year that was planted in 2017?
Oh,
Ash,
17 or 16?
Oh, 16. Good call.
Who's the start of your circle, Tom?
You can start.
Okay. My academic success, my identity, and my self-worth.
Ooh. Layla?
There's some electricians going on. In 2016, I did sow some seeds of some social service help. It gave me some temporary relief, at least for this year. I need to replant those seeds again. That was basically it. And getting some help that I desperately needed. So that was not easy to get to, but here I am.
Wonderful. Thank you, Layla. Raisa?
I became more of a peaceful, calm parent that my kids need, so I don't release any of my emotions onto them, and they don't feel like they need to carry it.
Adora?
My 403B finally started. this year, having planted the seeds and started having my employer put money aside last year, and my retirement accounts as well. So I feel as if I've become a proper grown-up who's thinking about her old age in this year.
Nice. Can we snap it up for everybody? Yeah. Why don't you find someone above you, below you, next to you? Give them a air high five. Yeah. Okay, we have been
Hands go through.
yes. We've been sitting for about an hour. So it's always helpful to every 50 or so minutes get up and stand. So why don't we just take about 30 seconds or so to just kind of stand for a sec, stretch out your legs, do your thing. Yeah, move the arms, do a little dance.
It wasn't a bit earlier, so I'm okay.
And when you're feeling a little recuperated, feel free to come join us back on screen.
How much longer do we have? Because I might have to drive somewhere soonish.
We have until 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
I may have to go in about 5-10 minutes, just letting you know.
Okay. Just peace sign us or drop in the comments. We appreciate that you're able to join us for when you can.
Okay.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to breathe in through our nose. As we breathe in, I want you to think up, reach up, stretch up, or point up, whatever to you is the most accessible. Then we're going to breathe out through our mouth and let go of some of any tension we're holding. Okay? So here we go. Breathe in through your nose, reach up, stretch up, think up, point up. And release. One more time. Breathe in. And release. What we're going to do now is we're going to culminate the experience that we've had with the 1-sentence, 2-sentence poem that was a group poem, with the Adora's favorite exercise 20-second poem, and now it's going to culminate in a free write. So we're going to give you about 7-ish minutes to write without stopping. So a free write is that once we say go, that you write and you cannot stop writing. You can't use your eraser. You can't cross anything out. You just have to write and write and write without stopping for 7 minutes. So if you're thinking, Tom, what if I can't think of what to write? Then you just write the theme over and over again. So you would write down closure for 2017 over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And I've had many people who have done that, wrote the theme over and over again for 2 minutes, and then boom, they finally got out of their own way and wrote one of their favorite things they've ever done. So just writing, no reading what you wrote until you're done. So you just word vomit onto paper. If you're trying to think of things to write, expand upon any of the 10 prompts that we just did, or upon your 2 sentences, or whatever comes to your mind. Thumbs up if that makes sense. Peace sign if you have a question. Layla, are you cool? Or have you frozen? I think you've frozen. Okay. So I'm going to mute everybody's lines while we're writing. So if you have any questions, put it in the comment section or start waving at me and I'll unmute so you can ask a question. Cool?
So this is everyone, though, for now. Sorry. Thank you.
Oh.
Are you peacing out, Layla?
Yeah, because I realize I have to probably get going to this event. So
Okay.
much love. But I will do this exercise.
Please do it. And share it with me on Facebook and a message if you're willing to or something.
Well, much
All right.
love.
Assalamu alaikum.
Cool to have you.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Alaikum.
Okay. So, make sense what we're doing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to mute your lines, and I'm going to start the stopwatch. Let the free write begin. All right, so I just want to invite us to write down our last sentence and come join us back in the group. I feel like we all went somewhere on that one. I can see. So why don't we one more time? And take another deep breath in through your nose. Breathe in. And release. And I just want you to think of in this last 30 minutes we're together, where we're going to be sharing out our poems, I want you to think of one intention that you have for these last 30 minutes. It can be a word, it can be a sentence. And as you find that intention in your mind, I want you to breathe in one more time and feel that intention going all throughout your body like oxygen. Okay, ready? Breathe in one more time. And release. Yes, indeed. I'm excited. I love this part. How we do this is we invite everyone to share their poem. And remember, there's no wrong or right way. There's no good and bad. There's no, you should have done something a little different. Everything you have was meant to be because it came from you. After you share, we're going to give 2 people a chance to share 1 affirmation each. And since there's only 3 other people besides the person sharing, if the other person wants to share an invitation, then we can all affirm. And we'll all read. And then if there's any time left, you can have a chance to ask further questions of people who read. Make sense? Mm-hmm. Who would like to start first?
I'll go first.
Okay, cool. Raisa, whenever you are ready.
Okay, here we go. The theme for closure of 2017 is acceptance and acknowledgement of every experience I've had, how I've needed it. I've gotten everything I needed when I needed it. I don't need to worry about that. It will come. I am being taken care of. Every experience is getting me ready for what is yet to come. I shall, God willing, build on reliance on my one and only source and speak my truth, own my truth, knowing that it doesn't matter who accepts or doesn't accept it. It's mine and between me and God, and my intention is to live my life pleasing to God and inspire and help others get closer to their Creator with their heart, which is what it was designed for. In order for us to get through life, all the trials and tribulations, the ups and downs, the connection to your Creator through your heart allows you to access your GPS, your intuition, your guidance, so that you can feel peace, ease, and lightness in making decisions in your life and not being attached to the outcome, but rather to your effort and intention. I realized I know what to give my children, my boys in particular, when I see them 4 times a month. That safe space to nurture and give them that unconditional acceptance and love, even if it means bringing them cookies in jail. My response, my love, my acceptance and affection is not based on their behavior, and making it safe for them to be themselves, to give them permission and acceptance to be them, because they are perfect just the way they are right here in this moment.
Yay! Can we share some affirmations with Raisa? Go ahead, Adora.
First of all, lots of things. That thing you said about being looked after and just getting that it resonated so much for me and all the things I've been doing this year. And also your reflections on motherhood. The idea of bringing cookies in jail, I think, is such a strong metaphor. And yeah, about that whole, your response being unrelated to external behavior and just that being something that I've really been working with in my life this year. It was wonderful to hear from your perspective. Thank you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Ash, would you like to share an affirmation?
Yes, please. I want to say this is going to sound a little strange. I'm not. That's not an apology. So don't look at me like that, Tom. But it's got a wonderful nonfiction quality to it. The type of poetry that I tend to write is always very fantastical, whatever. And so when other people can excel at writing their own stories without putting, monsters and dungeons and castles and whatever spin on it, like, it's so invigorating. I'm jealous, insanely jealous, because I don't know how to do it yet, but I'm learning. I think it's amazing. You did a wonderful job.
That's wonderful. And I just want to affirm that the truth and the honesty and the vulnerability in it, we really appreciate. And I think even if we're looking at this as a processing tool, I think that's when you get the most out of it. And so, I just appreciate you going first and really leading by example of what it looks like to live your truth. So we appreciate that. We snap it up one more time for Raysa. Yay!
Thank you.
Our pleasure. So we're going to do it cipher style, which means you get to invite who goes next. So who would you like to invite to step into the circle, Raysa?
I invite you, Tom.
Oh, I knew I was opening myself up for that. I'm like, it probably means I'm going to go. Okay, cool.
Sorry. Is partner listening? Because his eyes just seem to glow right now.
My partner? Yeah,
Yes.
He can hear it a little bit through my headphones.
No,
So I think we all were like, oh.
I thought your partner's eyes just light up.
I don't know. Do you want to listen to Tom's tone? Hi? Yes, you do? Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second.
Just play us on the spotlight. I would like to hear you.
It would have been a tough no, nah.
He's not like that. Hold on.
Did you freeze on us?
Can you hear that?
Oh, there you are.
Okay.
Can you hear us, Ashley? Because you have frozen on us. Ashley, you still there? Well, shall we in the meantime discuss Christmas plans?
Christmas plans for the non-Christians.
Oh, I'm back. I was
See?
gonna
Oh, there you are.
Can you hear us? We hear you, Ashley. You're there.
Yeah, finally? Good God. Okay.
Shall we begin?
Yeah, I'm good. Can you?
Okay.
If you guys can hear us, then we're all good. Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm going to mute everybody. Mute. Oh, yours will not mute. Ashley. Oh, now it's muted. We're in. Okay. Awesome. I close my eyes and breathe deeply. I stare deeply into the blankness, into the beautiful and bold darkness that is my subconscious, my thoughts, the stream of energy that is always and forever within me. And then I go out a little, or rather I go within, and I connect with that part of me that is always there, always present, always connected to infinity, to endless possibility, to creation, to creativity, to abundance. That part of me that as soon as I have a desire, a wish, or a goal, that it immediately brings those resources and everything I need into my spiritual escrow. Knowing this brings me comfort, especially as I recognize that all that I need now is alignment. And so I begin the joyful journey of fully loving exactly where I'm standing, of appreciating those times where life tells me what I do want and what I don't want, of finding happiness in every experience, in loving the process as much as I love the product, of loving the power of manifesting even more than I love the manifested, of knowing I am now, have always been, and will forever be worthy, holy, brilliant, and bold. When I turn on my Waze or Google Maps and I say, this is where I want to go, it never tells me. In order to get to this place you have envisioned, first you must tell me and process in detail everywhere you have been. It never does that. And I know now the same is true for my inner guidance. I can let go of my past. I can release the tension of what is and what has been because it is no longer necessary for where I am going. All that is needed is my feelings of love, enjoyment, courage, and happiness with who I am. And so I give closure to 2017 by loving myself fully, by saying, I am beautiful, I am wonderful, I am smart, I am pretty, I am funny, I am loved, I am loving, I am creative, I am Lupita Nyong'o's biggest fan, I am a hummus champion, I am an equinox enthusiast, I am a wonderful brother, son, partner, lover, business partner, and citizen. I am fully embracing and accepting and celebrating this year fully by doing the same for me. Yay! Thanks, y'all. Can we share some affirmations with Tom?
Yeah.
Go for it.
I really soaked that in. I loved how you were so expressive in loving yourself.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. And then you know what? With that, you take that love and that abundance out into the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Who would like to share an affirmation with Tom? Go ahead, Ash.
I really liked your the line about your ways, your maps.
Yes.
I think that really I resonated a lot with that, just because I feel like I'm always I tend to white rabbit, like the white rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. I'm always worrying about something. And so I feel like I let my past kind of drag me and slow me when I'm trying to move forward. And it's true for your guidance. Your guidance and your journey doesn't care about where you've been. And it's not a requirement. As long as you have got to where you are now, that's good enough. So I really enjoyed that.
Thank you. Adora, would you like to close us out?
Yes, I also agree. The Google Maps Waze metaphor was fantastic. And spiritual escrow, you just surprised me with some of these things. That needs unpacking at some later date. So I just was like, yeah, that, my love, is one of the joys of being with you. Daily surprises. And yes, I recognize a lot of the themes from this year from you, like alignment and similar things, and manifesting, very much something that you've been doing this year. And also your summary at the end was delightful and true. World's greatest lover.
All right, now I'm blushing. Oh, the joys of being white.
Oh, Tom.
Move along. Can we step it up for Tom?
Yeah.
Okay. Who shall I invite in? Ash, would you like to go next?
Sure, I guess. I don't know how I'm supposed to follow any of that up, but I'll try.
I bet it's going to be brilliant.
You overestimate me, Tom.
Not true.
I titled, because it helped me think a little bit clearer. The title was Monsters, Inc. Just closure for a year of doorways. Time between kingdoms and realms and liminal spaces. This year I wandered into space and named it home, but the word was tentative and the walls, they could sense my hesitation like raptors smelling fear. How fitting. I learned of spaces that existed for longer than this group of colonies had thrived longer than greedy hands that scooped out the guts like pumpkins. There are words for these spaces, and there always have been. This year, my space got a little rocky when I wasn't in the place of naming or in the place of before colonies, I sat down and bit my nails to bleeding, worrying over lists of warning steps, over banned words and workplace disagreements, and in my car holding my breath beside every cop car that pulled up next to me. And when I wasn't in the space of closing walls, I was in a place with no walls at all. I have always known the word hyperactivity, but this place, this door was more than that. It was seat sitting and 40-minute projects and bouncing and trouncing and crying and raging. The motor doesn't turn off when you're an adult. It took until the end of this year to realize I could transport, and always had been doing it the whole time without thinking, and wasn't I a miracle? Close to my own holiness and closed off in my own world.
We snap it up, please. Yes. I always know when somebody's like, this isn't going to be that good, that it's about to blow everybody's mind.
I didn't say it wasn't that good. You told me I wasn't allowed to say that anymore.
Who would like to start with an affirmation? Go ahead, Adora.
So many things, of course, were just ringing and ringing and ringing. But the first one that caught me was when you talked about the colonies, and then the scooping of guts like pumpkins, and it just took me there. And it just, because, you know, there's so many things around colonization and even celebrations like Thanksgiving that really have been meshed and hashed out. But to bring a new light to anything there, and to bring a new metaphor there, just was astounding. And I love that.
Yes. Raisa, would you like to share an affirmation?
Yeah. I love how you're so vulnerable to bring us into your world, to bring us in here and in here. I really felt like you had just completely exposed yourself to share that part of yourself and connect with the other human beings here. And I honor that and I appreciate that, because that takes a lot of courage to share that part of yourself, and just seeing how you've evolved and stepping into your new space.
Yes.
Inspiring.
I agree. And two things. One is that, you know, we kind of building off your affirmation for Raisa, is that I love how you use both the fiction and nonfiction and interweave them. And the descriptors and the imagery is something I'm really trying to invite into my poetry. So I love how you weave throughout them, and the metaphors of, I feel like I'm surrounded by walls and then I'm not surrounded by walls. And then that metaphor of build the wall, you know what I mean? So, and that's kind of the other thing, is that really in processing 2017, not just on a political level, but really on the personal level, we have to talk about the political. And I know we didn't really get a chance here to process a lot of the politics, although I feel like most of our writing workshops are usually explicitly political. So I think if we look at it as a whole, but I appreciate you bringing in that perspective of, we need to cleanse ourselves from all of the violence too that we've experienced because of the political climate. So I appreciate that. Can we snap it up for Ash? Yes. Deepness. Who would you like to invite into the circle to share?
Well, I think it's going to have to be my all-time favorite. And I'm sorry, Tom, you're just my second favorite. It's Adora.
All good. Okay. Adora, hang on, let me mute folks. And I see someone new has joined us.
Yeah.
Let's see if we'll have them say hi then. Who's joining us on the iPhone? Newcomer?
It's Elena.
Hey, from Cancun, right?
Yeah, I'm waiting at the airport, and my boyfriend just boarded his plane, so now I could join you.
Well, you caught us. We got our last couple minutes going, and just in time to hear someone's poem. So thank you for joining us internationally.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, Adora, when you are ready, you can share your poem.
Let's do this. Generally speaking, it's been a great year. It has felt great in its nuances, the valleys, the hills, and I think of it with warmth. Not because I haven't struggled, I think in so many ways, especially psychologically, this has been the hardest year since moving back to Nigeria in the year 1990. But I don't think I felt so much doubt and uncertainty for such a sustained period, even then. But what is so magnificent is that I'm out of it now, and not because of circumstances changing, but because my thinking changed. I don't even understand how my thinking changed, but I know it had something to do with my body's survival. My body going, if my mind keeps doing this, and we're not going to make it in one piece. And so my body pushed through, and my mind pulled it together, and now I'm on the other side. Doesn't mean life is all ha ha he he. But it does mean that I have more and more golden moments, sections in time when nothing special is happening, but I'm in a space of complete peace. I had one yesterday during meditation, which isn't very hard. I'm having one now, writing this in my bedroom, cushions pressing under and behind me with a warm blanket around me. And if I can continue to find these golden moments in the ordinary passing of days, then each day, week, and year will remain golden in the way I feel.
Can we snap it up for Adora, please? Yes. Who would like to share an affirmation? Go ahead, Ash.
Like always, I love what you write. But very specifically this time, I think that it was like hearing you have a conversation with yourself. And it was very endearing. Like it was vulnerable without being too solemn, which is, I think, an achievement all by itself, just to be lighthearted and be full of light in a poem instead of allowing what was undoubtedly a bit of a dark year and sounded like it may have been a hard year, kind of drag you down. Instead, you wrote about how you rose above it without sinking back into it. So it was nice.
Yes. Raisa, would you like to share?
Yeah. Listening to your words, Adora, of you processing how the year went for you, what it reminded me of is a couple of things. One is that when God tells us in the Quran that we are only given what we can handle. There's no burden that's placed on us that we can't handle. So that's signifying to us, hey, look, whatever you're going through, you can handle it, you can overcome, you can get through, and you're okay. And even when you're not feeling like you're okay, you're still okay. And as human beings, just as we are physiologically have the capability to heal ourselves when we get a cut or a wound, psychologically, we also have the ability to heal ourselves psychologically from the pain. And that's what came to me when I heard you say that, how that process is so natural for us as human beings if we allow it.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Woo, that was a dope affirmation. Two things on my part. One, throughout this workshop, and especially this poem, even though I live with you and we talk every day and you're literally in the room next to me, I've just gotten to learn so much from you. So I think that really means that you went deep on this workshop and on this poem. Poetically, I know my favorite poems are when you can't tell if the person has started their poem or not. If they're still giving their intro, where you're like, oh, this is the poem. It's so natural. And so I really liked how the style of that, it sounded like you're just having a conversation between you and your internal self. So I really appreciated that. Can we show Adora some love? Yeah. So does anybody watch Wheel of Fortune or buy a vowel? Are you familiar with the concept? I'd like to buy 5 minutes. We're going to go 5 minutes over. Is that okay with everybody? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Elena, I know you just joined us, so I was wondering if just before we conclude, if you wanted to add for us any thoughts you have around bringing closure to your 2017. If you wanted to give us just a little insight into any thoughts you have on that.
Sure. It's 2017. I think I did probably 17 personal development workshops this year.
That's awesome.
And it's been like 17 new versions of me, or maybe 1,000 new versions of me, and I'm ending the year with a new business, new hope, a new relationship, new clarity, new everything. I'm not the person that started the year, and it's exciting it's just exciting. It's exciting because I know that my business is going to take off in the new year, and that this year will have been transformation and planting seeds. And I'm so blessed to be where I am and to have had the opportunity to have this year and to really expand and contribute next year in a way that I didn't this year as I worked on me. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all of it. And I'm very much ready for the transition.
That's amazing. Can we show Elena?
I can't hear anything. I can't hear you at all.
You can't hear me? Can you hear us? Well, we'll in the replay you can hear us just sharing and seeing us too. We were all deeply resonating with what you were saying and really appreciated what you were saying. So thank you so much for that. What we want to do to conclude is just go in a circle and share a lot of SHs happening in a row, and go in a circle and share any last thoughts you want to conclude with around bringing closure to 2017. And then if you could just share a general affirmation for this process, for this experience, and for the people who joined us here today, we would appreciate that. Does it make sense what we're going to do? Who would like to start us off? Adora, would you like to start?
Sure. I think this is almost 2 in 1. Having to sit down and think about this so close to the end of the year has just given me a chance to really reflect. And I don't know if I'd have taken out the time otherwise. So this has been a great way for me to close out my 2017 and really go inside and check that out. And especially with this group, I felt so affirmed and so comfortable and so kind of enlightened by everyone in this workshop, and I wouldn't have had a chance to do this with you all any other way. So yes, thank you, Tom, for this.
Yes, indeed. Can we snap it up for Adora? Thank you, Adora. Who would like to share next?
I'll go next.
Okay, go ahead, Raisa.
Yeah, I feel like I had all the stuff in my mind, and I usually do put it in writing, but doing it in a group where you're connecting internally, but then verbalizing it and then writing it down as well has really internalized it for me in a whole different way. And it was really like, I feel like I'm so ready to go into 2018 because I've done this process work now, and ready to fly because like I know what I got from 2017, and it's kind of like launching me into 2018. And to be able to do that with other people in this space has really helped me to learn from everyone else as well. So thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Can we snap it up? Who would like to go next? Go ahead, Ash.
I think that in just kind of thinking about closure for 2017, this was definitely like a year of real world scary things for me, just like being an adult and doing some growing up and like figuring out a career track and stuff like that. And so that was something that I had all like real life or real world things that kind of were squandering my creative process. And that had been happening for the last year and a half. And then finding these workshops kind of help extricate me from that. And so I think that without these workshops, I may not have had a chance to develop my creative alongside my, practical, so to speak, identity. So I think that as far as a general affirmation for this group, it is always such a safe space and such a great time to come to these workshops. I've definitely, I'm not saying correlation is causation or anything, because that would go against the 4 years I just spent in this degree, but I can tell you that I felt exponentially better, more grounded, and more ready when I do these. And so I think that Race is right. I feel like I could take on 2018 and fight it like a bear. Like, I would win. Let's go.
That's what's up. That was very heartwarming. Can we snap it up for Ash? Elena, I know you just joined us, so you might not have a lot of an affirmation, but is there anything you want to share with us in closing about your year, or affirmations about personal development in general, or anything you feel invited to share in closing with us?
Sure. So this year for me and this year for me has been about taking complete personal responsibility for everything, and being fearless, and really realizing that the worst things that can go wrong aren't that terrible anymore, and that we have so little that's really worth fight or flight anymore in our lives. And so I'm excited. I'm excited for my book to come out. Well, the beginning of the year, we just wrote half of it this week, and then another book. And I'm excited to be able to teach other people how to take down their fight or flight, how to take personal responsibility, and how to reclaim in a way that I've been able to reclaim my body and reclaim my mind and reclaim my spirit. And it's so, this year for me is just about personal responsibility for me, and next year is about helping other people take that back too.
Yeah.
Because there's so little that's really threatening, and there's so little that we really risk except happiness and love and health. We risk happiness, love, and health by being scared. That's it. All the rest is just make-believe BS in our heads. And so I'm ready to just embrace that and help other people take that and run with it too.
Yes. I feel like we're all about to set the roof on fire here. Yes. Well, Elena, I hope that, I feel like, you're perfect for this group here. So I hope that you join us in the future, because I'm just feeling that we'd all benefit from the awesome energy you have, and I think vice versa. So I appreciate you jumping on at the end here with us. Thank you.
I don't even know what the group is. You sent me an invite, and I'm here at the airport, and so whatever, I say yes whenever I can.
Yes, indeed. And I cannot believe how your video and audio quality in Cancun at an airport is better than like so many people's in the States calling in. So affirmation to your cell reception. For me, I would just like to say that I really have enjoyed so much coming together once a month with our group, with everybody who joins us here at the Live and Online Expression Session every month. It's always we have a lot of people who come every month, and then it's always new people who would say, I had no idea what this was, and I'm so glad I came, and this was awesome. So I appreciate that it's brought such affirmation and joy to my life. So I appreciate all of you. I think it really testifies to the power of writing as a processing tool, and how every single one of us are creative artists, and kind of moving aside from that, what we've been taught that this is what art is, rather than all of us are artists. So can you snap it up one more time for yourselves? As a gratitude for everybody who's been a part of the expression session this year, I'd just like to offer y'all 2 resources. One is, I've shared with you that we've relaunched my online school, the Celebration Academy, and it's $10 a month. And I'm going to send y'all a code so that you can have 1 month for free to give it a test drive to see what you think. And for anybody who's interested, I'd also like to offer you a free 30-minute coaching session. And it can either focus on business development if you're looking for social media management, digital marketing, strategic planning, if you want to focus on that, or personal development, confidence, self-expression. So absolutely 30 minutes for free. I'll follow up with a link with all of y'all for that. But just wanted to offer anything I can to awesome people like you all, building and making the world a better place. Can you step it up one more time for yourselves? Give high fives up above wherever you see people. I hope you all join us next month. Normally, it's the third Sunday of every month, but I see that one of our friends is getting married that day. So I don't think it'll be the third Sunday. So stay tuned for the next date. It'll definitely be a Sunday at noon Pacific Standard Time. So thank you all so much for joining us. I appreciate it, and I look forward to us all continuing to get to know each other and all our awesomeness in the new year. So thank you so much, everybody. Bye.
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 Bye.